Well. It's been a while since our last post. Things have been a little busy here and there. And in light of some decompression time, it seems only appropriate that we should address some footwear. Usually the footwear would be boots, field type footwear. However, we all have decompression time, as mentioned. And in this regard, a particular article of decompression footwear and exactly something just like this. So moccasins. I have personally used moccasins for just a downtime and decompression time. Frankly, I've also used driving moccasins, usually a sports car or just a long distance trip where you know you're not going to need to be booted up, as it were. And in regards to that, there are a lot of very expensive pieces of equipment that we use many times. This would be a lower cost variant that I have found to be very efficient, very available, and likewise very comfortable. Interesting part of this is an item from Target stores, and cost on these moccasins are $20, $19.99. That's been pretty consistent for a number of years. The interesting twist on this is that these are women's moccasins, ladies' moccasins. Nice, cheery kind of a purple label there. And they're made from suede leather. At least I believe that they're made from suede leather. I don't really get all that jacked up about something like this because, frankly, I've used a lot of moccasins, as I just mentioned. And I've had expensive moccasins, and I have had, well, in this case, these really truly do fit the bill. They're found just about anywhere. You can get them online, and again, the price cannot be beat. And when it comes time to save a few pennies, dollars, shekels, lira, euro, whatever it may be, always a good idea, if possible, to save that coinage for something perhaps better. I have not found a moccasin much better than these. I've worn this style of moccasin for a number of years. Oddly enough, did not realize that it was a ladies' moccasin when it was first introduced to me. And I was drawn to the concept of not having laces or tassels. Frankly, I find laces and tassels useless, and they just get in the way. It's something else to get loose or untied or become a disruption of some kind. And usually you see tassels on men's footwear, dress shoes. Just not necessarily my personal thing. Some guys like them, some guys don't. In this case, again, it's a women's moccasin. They're nice and plain. I like that. Work really great as a driving mock for me. They're lined. It's supposed to be suede leather. Don't know if it's actually man-made material or actual leather. It actually feels and appears to be actual suede. The lining is polyester or some other it's not real sheepskin, in other words. And the sole is just a rubber, nothing all that super traction, but not really all that slippery either in my experience. I have a tendency, initially these did not have the sewn in label, so what I do is I just go in and trim those out with the trusty sack, a Swiss Army knife, or a razor tipped X-Acto blade if you have that available. And in prior iterations of this moccasin, normally the insole can come out. I just noticed that this one has some foam padding, some extra foam padding it appears to have under the heel, and this is held in by, it appears it's held in with an adhesive. So again, these were just unboxed, if you will, and haven't really gotten into them. But the style is pretty universal for me. I prefer that style. Again, just a personal thing. Here we go with an older pair that has just about had its service life. I believe I've had this pair for something over right around a year. And frankly, sometimes these are in and out. I like to have a pair that is, you know, like an inside moccasin so that you're not trailing things around. Of course, depends on the environment that you're in and the temperature, etc. And sometimes I usually take the older pair and rotate it as an outdoor moccasin for, you know, making a quick trip out into the elements. So, $20 from Target, of all places. I'm not a big frequent Target person, but again, these were introduced to me by someone pretty special, and again, a great moccasin if that is your style and type, and if you don't mind wearing something that is marketed to and made for ladies or women. Frankly, I don't care. I thought it was a man's moccasin when I first encountered this. So there you go. I usually get two pair because the cost is inexpensive. They pretty much fold flat in luggage, travel space, etc. And again, in my experience, usually the insole can be removed, and frankly, I will rotate out the insole once it becomes a bit flattened. There was a couple of other higher end brands insole. Heck, I had an insole on one pair that was, the insoles themselves were about $30, so not quite double the price of the actual moccasins themselves, but I had rotated that out at one point. So try them out, see what you think, and enjoy. Salute.